Not illegal, but definitely not ideal.
That is how an advocacy group for the disabled described the parking at the Courthouse Annex building in downtown Fort Wayne.
After a disabled veteran called 15 Finds Out investigator Alyssa Ivinson, she discovered a real parking problem, and tonight we're going a step further and taking the issue to the top. Alyssa?
Well, Allen County Commissioner Nelson Peters was surprised to get my phone call, saying they haven't had many complaints, if any, about accessible parking in that lot. But now that we told him about Dan Headley's problem, changes could be coming soon.
How could they restrict this to employees and not to the people that are actually using the facility?
The question Dan Headley had when he pulled into an accessible spot in the Courthouse Annex lot off West Superior.
I'm not quite as ambulatory as I used to be.
With a cane and oxygen, walking even a few blocks to get to Small Claims Court would be too much for him. But the lot attached to the building is for county employees only, so the accessible spots are too.
I didn't understand how they could do that. You found that out.
Fifth Freedom, a disabilities advocacy group, met 15 Finds Out at the lot and explained that a private lot is not required to offer public accessible parking, and there's no requirement for public parking close by.
If the public parking that you offer is 1,000 miles away from your building, that's where the accessible parking is going to be.
A metered spot across the street is the closest accessible spot. Then there's another one on the street and a parking garage 2 blocks away.
It would be nice if there were, accessible public parking on this block, but they are in compliance with all the laws and regulations, and they're not required to offer more.
Nobody's really called us. Don't oftentimes recognize there may be problems or issues until somebody calls to say, hey, you got a problem or an issue.
15 Finds Out took the parking predicament to Allen County Commissioner Nelson Peters.
This operation 1 year ago was moved over from Berry Street, and there was no public parking there either. So parking spots are a premium downtown. They're especially a premium for county employees, and so we're trying to get people into the buildings and get them close by first. But this particular issue, it's worth rethinking.
Peters says all the employees who park in the lot work in the annex building. There are 3 accessible spots there, but Peters wasn't sure how many employees actually have tags and use them.
If the commissioners were to make this kind of partially public or something like that, would that be a great solution to you?
Yeah, I think so. Just a few slots.
Fifth Freedom said their words here. They're breaking no rules, no laws, no regulations. Could it be better? Yes.
And I would agree with that. And again, it's not a matter from my perspective as to whether or not we're breaking rules or breaking laws. I mean, obviously you don't want to do that, and we won't do that. But if we can make a situation better for the people that we serve, that's what we're elected to do.
Peters says he's already brought it up to the other commissioners.
Is there a remedy that you think is most appropriate, which might include parking for handicapped individuals in this parking lot? And we'll have to look at the other parking lots too and just see how they're structured as far as handicap accessibility.
Now, it's not clear just yet when those changes or if those changes could come. For 15 Finds Out, I'm Alyssa Ivinson.